Bridgerton on Strings. You can enjoy this captivating musical experience in over 220 cities around the world. And you can find them in a city near you on tudun.com. Thank you very much.
New Bridgerton season. Wow, so nice this season.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm pleased to announce the lady who will be holding court and moderating today's conversation, my dear, dear friend, and the Queen herself, Miss Golda Rochevelle. Hello,
Hello, darling.
you look gorgeous.
Thank you, baby. You too. Very nicely. Hello. Thank you. It's just like on set, isn't it? Us hosting this soiree together. Everyone, please give a huge round of applause for my dear friend, Hugh Sachs. So, welcome to our Season of Love Global Fan Event. Together, we're here to celebrate the series that has captured so many hearts and imaginations. Today, we share cherished moments from 3 enchanting seasons and prepare to embark upon tales of romance and intrigue. We are delighted to unveil today's exclusive glimpse into the next tantalizing chapter of Bridgerton. Our warmest welcome and heartfelt thanks to everyone tuning in live from around the world. Please tell us where you are watching from and share in the comments what you are most excited to see next.
Now, make haste in bringing out our esteemed panelists and colleagues. Please give a warm welcome from the Ton to Luke Thompson, our Benedict Bridgerton. Yerin Ha, our Sophie Beck. And series showrunner, Jess Brownell.
Lovely. They scrub up well, don't they? Yes, very nice array of costumes and outfits. So, Jess,
Hi.
shall we do a previously on Bridgerton?
A lot
Wow,
happened last
looking
season.
so
Yeah,
nice.
season 3.
Season 3.
Can you give us a kind of update? What happened? Where did you leave us?
Well, we got a happily ever after, right? That's the main
Yeah.
thing.
And
Penn
then
and
this
Colin
season.
ended up together. They got married.
Yeah.
Penelope announced herself as Lady Whistledown to the Ton. Are we booing?
No, us, the Queen.
As Golda or the Queen?
The Queen.
A lot of people had some happily ever afters. You know, Anthony and Kate decided they were going to go have their baby in India. You had Fran and John deciding to go over to Scotland with Michaela and Eloise. So a lot of people are up to a lot.
Oh my god, you can wow. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Penn and Colin ended up together. They got
Sorry.
married. Penelope announced herself
Sorry.
as Lady Whistledown to the Ton. Are we
Sorry.
booing?
No, us, the Queen.
As Golda or the Queen?
The Queen.
A lot of people had some happily ever afters. You know, Anthony and Kate decided they were going to go have their baby in India. You had Fran and John deciding to go over to Scotland with Michaela and Eloise. So a lot of people are up to a lot. And then you have this guy over here, who is kind of doing the thing he does, which is gallivanting, dabbling, sexing, having a pretty damn good time. And
This is nice for Sophie.
sorry, cover your ear, cover your ear. Having a pretty good damn time, but there is just this little flicker on Benedict's face at the end of the season where I think we can tell that he knows something is missing and maybe he's lacking a little bit of depth and commitment in his life. So that's the thing sending us
great.
forward.
So on that note, can you tell us where our beloved characters are at the beginning of season 4?
I can give you some little hints. We're not going to go past, episode 1, but
Yeah,
just some
lovely.
starter moments. So we've got Penelope and Colin, who are fully Pollen now. They are merged. Colin is a wife guy. They've got their baby. We have a photo of the baby. I've debated whether we should drop the baby's name today, but I think
Now you've said it.
let's
Come on, babe.
speculate a little bit
Okay,
more,
cool.
don't you
Okay,
think?
okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. One day
You're
we'll
the
drop
boss.
it. They're pretty happy. Penelope is publicly whistled down, so that's a lot to navigate with Her Majesty the Queen. We've got Anthony returning, Johnny Bailey, which we're very excited about. And I can reveal here for the first time today that we also have Simone Ashley returning. So Canthony will be together again, and we will get to be seeing more of their marital bliss and seeing their baby as well. So lots of fun. We've got the Mondriches, Will and Alice, who are now fully, into society and enjoying their role there, and maybe looking for a little bit of a new challenge. Lady Danbury is back, and she is helping the Mondriches with that challenge. But it's also all about the relationship between Lady Danbury and the Queen this season. We learned so much about the origin of that friendship on the spinoff, and so we wanted to really dig into it this season, and you're going to see some new levels and shades from that friendship. Lady Featherington is back for more. Things are like upside down in her world. She's got her youngest daughter made the best match of all, and now she's the mother of the most famous gossip columnist. Like, life is good, And I think she doesn't quite know what to do with herself. But I'll tell you something, she's not moving out of that house just yet because she's enjoying it all way too much. Of course, we're going to see more of Violet Bridgerton. And, she might still be mixing it up a little bit with Lord Anderson. I think we've got a picture of them as well. I think that they had their little growing spark last season. A lot of giggling, right? And we're hoping that this season they can move on from giggling to a little bit more. We'll see. The siblings are doing well. Francesca is now married off, which leaves Eloise in a position where she's in her mother's clutches again. I think Violet is once again trying to put Eloise on the marriage mart, and she's absolutely dreading it. Whereas you have Hyacinth, who, at 14 or however old she is desperate to pre-debut early. And the two of them get paired together this season for comedic results. Gregory is around. He's going to get sent off to Eton for a little while, but that gives him time to come back, no longer a gangly teenager, but just like a young man now.
Terrifying.
Frightening. And like,
It was so small.
and making TikToks in real life. What?
Yeah.
Bizarre. And then, of course, we'll see more from Her Majesty the Queen,
Yes.
who, as I said, we're really... You're back, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. We made
think I was
some
there.
very expensive wigs, so I hope you're back. And Her Majesty, is going through some...
There she is.
There she is, looking good. Looking better than ever.
With the man by her side.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
There he is.
There he is. You by her side. She's got a new relationship with Penelope now that she knows who Whistledown is, and her relationship with Lady Danbury also right at the center of the story.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what makes this season so special, and why these two? Why Benedict and Sophie?
Yeah. Every season we try to look at a different trope within the romantic world, romantic genre. And this year it's all about forbidden love. You have this. That's the right response.
That's right, yeah.
Let me tell you, that class clash gives us a very serious obstacle, and the stakes could not be higher this year. So it's really a juicy one. And, I feel like we've spent the first 3 seasons really digging into the upstairs world and getting to know the rules of the ton. And so it felt right that after 3 seasons of doing that, we could expand the world out and go downstairs. And broaden our world, but also because you are now so familiar with the upstairs, I think viewers know just how difficult a pairing between a gentleman and a maid will be.
Yep.
They're right there with us.
And what makes the pairing special?
Have you seen these?
I know, right? As I was asking the question.
Luke Thompson and Yerin Ha could not be better cast in these roles. I think Benedict is a character who we have all been rooting for over the years. We're deeply invested in his story. And it's been really exciting to try to shake him out of his normal routine. And I think the only way we were able to do that is with a character as dynamic as Sophie. Sophie, she is based in a Cinderella trope, but she is no damsel in distress. She is someone who has chess moves and is always thinking 2-3 steps ahead. So she's absolutely going to throw Benedict for a loop. And Yerin just brings this incredible feistiness, humor, and vulnerability to the role. She is the only person who could play this role, and we're so lucky to have her.
Fantastic. Well, Jess, you could have filled up a whole society page with those updates. Our fans will surely be delighted. Speaking of fans, we want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the fans of Bridgerton. You are all here for this show and our cast around the world, and it truly humbles us all.
It's truly an honor to have you all here.
For you all, do you sense the excitement of the Bridgerton fans?
I get the tip of the iceberg because I'm not online, so I don't feel probably like a lot of the stuff right now is probably online. But I get just in those little glimpses of meeting people on the tube or in the street, sort of saying, "Oh, it's your season next. I'm really looking forward."
Have you got any kind of, fan experiences, ones that pop to mind?
Well, the really quick ones.
Weird and wonderful?
The really quick ones are really nice. Like,
Yeah.
just like on the tube escalator, and someone just on the way past you says, "You're in Bridgerton. That's amazing." You just go, "Oh."
Lovely.
But yeah, no, I think, it's funny. They're funny. They're interesting.
They're interesting, aren't they?
It's like, I remember once when someone came up to me, and I think my it was a bit tired. It was early in the morning. I didn't really fancy a photo.
Yeah, no.
But I think my tactic was, as always, to ramble. I always just ramble. That's my sort of thing. And I could tell. I was like, "Oh, just have a conversation. She won't want a photo. I'll just chat." And I could just see her eyes slowly glaze
Glaze
over.
over.
And she was just like, "Yeah, just a bit less of that, just a bit more of that."
Yerin, how about you? Coming in, being on Sophie.
Yeah.
Have you had any excitable fans come up to you?
You know what? Not that much. I also think I'm in a bit of disbelief, being like, nobody's going to recognize me. But when I went to see Ajwa do a play, I had a lovely woman come up to me and was like, "Are you Yerin?" And I was like, "Yes." And she was just thanking me for the representation of the community.
Yeah.
So that was amazing.
Amazing. So some special fans have their own message of love that they want to share with us today. Let's have a look.
Hey Bridgerton, huge congratulations to the entire cast for another successful season, and best of luck to Luke and Yerin. I'm looking forward to have you as our new season leads. Much love and happy Valentine's from the Philippines. Bye bye.
Hi, Luke and Yerin. I'm Marianne, and I'm a huge fan of yours. And I'm so excited to see Benedict and Sophie's love story in season 4. I'm sure you guys did an amazing job bringing them to life, so thank you for everything. Love you.
Hi Luke, hi Yerin. I am so excited for this upcoming season of Bridgerton. It is my favorite in the series, and I know you guys will do amazing. Luke, you've been the best Benedict for the past 3 seasons, and Yerin, as soon as you were casted, I knew you were perfect for Sophie. I cannot wait to see the masquerade and what you guys have in store for us.
Hi Luke and Yerin. Just wanted to wish you all the best for season 4. It's your season. Pauline was so amazing last season. I am so excited to see what's coming next. Hi Luke, hi Erin. I am so excited for season 4. I'm excited to finally enter Benefit era and to see Benedict and Sophie's love story unfold. And with you two, I just know it's going to be incredible. You two are going to be amazing, and I cannot wait.
Happy Valentine's Day to Luke and Yeren. It's now their time to shine. We can't wait to witness another crazy Bridgerton ride. Amazing chemistry, but most of all, it's Bridgerton after all. We can't wait to see those scenes that are going to make us swoon.
Hi, Luke and Jaren. I just wanted to let you know that the fandom is so excited for Benefit's love story. Your hard work and incredible talent will continue making Bridgerton one of the most successful Netflix series of all the time. We love you and we are waiting for you.
Beautiful. That's so beautiful. Thank you all for your messages.
I'm the only one.
Yeah, I know.
There's no choice.
I know. I thought, is there more, Benedict? So now let's chat a little deeper about season 4 with Luke and Jaren. So, my friends, what are you most excited about for fans to see this season?
For this one to finally fall in love.
Yeah, that's-
Yeah. But I think because of that whole upstairs downstairs influence this season, I do think it's gonna bring this kind of new fresh energy and kind of vibe to the show, and I'm really excited for what the audiences will think.
It's wonderful to have characters that have been in the show for a long time. So characters like Mrs. Wilson,
Yeah.
or John the footman, and like to really sort of like suddenly get to see a bit more of them. As in like that shift to be able to have, and also with Hyacinth and Will. Hyacinth and Will is his real name.
Gregory.
Hyacinth and
I do
Gregory.
that all the time.
To sort of really see them, taking sort of like tiptoeing their way forwards into the middle is really exciting.
And how did you feel first day of filming?
Oh, ready to go.
Did you feel, was it a scene between the two of you?
It was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It starts straight in the middle.
Sometimes you don't meet until the middle. Do you know what I mean? You start somewhere else and then the lovers meet in the middle. But
Can I ask, this isn't a spoiler, was it Kite?
I could possibly say, Jeff.
It's not something from the book, so I think you could say that word. Was that the first thing you showed?
Yeah,
it's the
kite.
first. Yeah. Kite.
Kite scene.
do you know what that,
lots of
do you know what that
birds
means? Wow, hidden secrets.
But yeah, I think it's always nice at the first day because it's like, well, the whole point of it is having an adventure, right?
Yeah.
It's really nice to feel like you're at the first day of an adventure. We had a moment the other day where we thought, God, we're 2/3 of the way through, sort of this long sort of like walk up a mountain.
Yeah. So, Yaren, did you know about Bridgerton before you auditioned?
Oh, pressure. No, I think like everyone did. I mean, I just turned on the TV, Netflix, top 10 shows, and then Bridgerton was number 1. I see this beautiful woman and, reggae and being in a period drama. And I was like, what's this? I got acquainted with it just like everyone else did, I think. Yeah.
And how did you find out, about being cast and getting that phone call from an agent or
Yeah.
manager or something like that saying, I'd love you to come and
be Sophie. I got the audition pretty late in the process, I think. But it was quick. It was like a 2-week process. My agent rang me and was like, Bridgerton, right? And I was like, yeah. Just like everyone else does. And then he was like, I need you to send in a tape in 24 hours.
Wow.
So I was like, all right. And then a few days later, he was like, call back. And then a couple of days after that, he was like,
Wow.
with Luke on Zoom. And then, next thing I know, I'm on a plane to London.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was all in Australia?
That all happened in Korea.
Oh, my goodness.
Went back to Sydney, packed my room, put it in storage, and then came to London. Yeah.
Nice.
Love it. Love it. Yes. So, my darling friend, Luke Thompson.
Yes.
You're now a leading man.
Correct.
How does that feel? Have you had any advice from other leading men or leading women in our series?
I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because when I started, everyone, just people outside of the show, would say to me, "Oh, well, you're just going to disappear for 9 months. Like it's going to be, it's going to be a huge burden. It's going to sort of like suck loads out of you." And actually, obviously, it is. You do have to give a lot, but you get so much being in the centre of a show like that. You absorb so much of it. So it's just it's a privilege to be in the middle of it. It's not at all a burden. And, I just think, it's also really nice, obviously, for the characters, because I feel like as a character, we've got him as a little sort of little musical theme for most of the seasons. Now suddenly you're like, oh, let's write a whole symphony about him.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think that's really exciting. I mean, in terms of advice, it's funny, like, it's such a personal thing. I always think that about acting generally, like even how, how people act. there are as many ways of techniques of acting as there are actors. And similarly, I think it's such a personal experience being leading this show. And so I was tempted to talk to people, but then I was like,
you wanted your own kind of little journey.
Yeah.
Big journey.
Big journey.
Yeah.
Odyssey.
The Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah.
Sophie, Yerin, what interested you in the role of Sophie?
What interested
you about Sophie, about playing her, about jumping into this?
Well, I think Sophie is this super headstrong character, and she's very independent, but she craves and yearns for love. And just because this man kind of enters her life, she doesn't surrender everything, and she doesn't give up everything. There's this sense of self-respect and this dignity for herself. Yes. But I think the most interesting thing for me was the journey of her realizing that being vulnerable and also asking for help isn't a weakness, and that she too deserves love, just like everyone in this room. I think that was a really fascinating point for me.
Yeah, lovely. So we have another new photo to show you. We mentioned earlier that we're still in production on season 4, and we wanted to share some new images of the new backlot that was built just outside of London. That's it, yeah. Looks real, doesn't it?
It is, yeah.
That is. There we go. Stunning. What did you think when you first stepped on? Hugh and I have never been there, can I just say?
Have you not?
We've never been there.
You're not allowed outside the palace.
I know. We never go out. So what was it like?
What does it look like?
Yeah, what does it look like? That. Stepping out onto this amazing thing that basically has been built for our show.
Stunning.
Yeah.
To be honest, my first reaction was we were on there to do a photo shoot, so I was terrified.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's very, very impressive. And I think, film sets are there's a real magic to that, to have like just in the middle of nowhere, just suddenly this street. Yeah. It's really
I always think, as going up to where it is, I always think like the aliens have landed. Do you know what I mean? Like put this world in the middle of a field.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the middle of like a suburban neighborhood.
Exactly.
There's like, there's Bag. There's the Royal Crescent. It's
Yeah.
life size.
Wow.
And the sheep next door.
Yeah. So filming on these sets are amazing, and they are so beautiful and complex, just like Benedict and Sophie. You see what I did there?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Congratulations.
So rude. So, going into the season 4, what was your goal for the love story of Benedict and Sophie?
Goal.
Sure. We've talked about this in the writer's room. We talked really early when we were analyzing these characters. What spectrum do they sit on? And if they sit on a spectrum, it's that Benedict is someone who lives completely in a fantasy world to a fault, and that Sophie is someone who lives in this very hard reality. And that's not her fault, but I think she doesn't always let herself dream of more. And so they really both need to meet in the middle. For us, the theme of the season is really about true love being somewhere in between fantasy and reality. And that gave us a very clear structure going into this season in terms of helping these characters find their way to the middle.
Yeah, lovely. Benedict has been through a lot, hasn't he, in these last 3 seasons? How do you think that informs what happens next for him?
Well, Benedict, I guess there are lots of people like that where you sort of feel like for some reason they haven't quite tipped into maturity. Like they're still sort of circling around, and even in the structure of the show, he's sort of been waiting in the wings for a long time. And so it's interesting to unpack why that is. And often, like those things, you can sort of feel like, is it something is it just bad luck, or he hasn't met the right person? But also, is it something that's blocking him? Some sort of some sort of fear of committing, fear of sort of fear of commitment, I guess. And also, I think it's always about like wrapping things together, as in like he has a very sectioned out life. He's got his art, and he's Benedict at home, and he's Benedict in the Demi-Monde and all of that. And I think there's a real fear of, I think, what falling in love would be is tying all those things together, which is, a big challenge and probably quite scary for him. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
So, Jess, we know you made some creative choices with new characters, particularly a new family who's coming into the Tom this season. Can you tell us a little bit about the new family?
There It's a new family, although I can't take full credit for that creative choice. It's from the book. In the book, Julia Quinn beautifully writes Araminta, Lady Penwood, and her 2 daughters, Rosamond and Posy. So we've included them in the season. I think
There they are.
There they are, looking splendidly adorned.
That's
by our
Araminta in the
costume
middle, isn't
designer.
it?
Araminta in the middle, played by the wonderful Katie Leung. Michelle Mao, who plays Rosamond, and Isabella Way, who plays Posy.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I think in the books, specifically Araminta and Rosamond, are quite villainous characters. They're, some of the biggest villains in the Bridgerton books. They are still villains, absolutely, in our show, but I think there's a difference between meeting a character on the page versus seeing them embodied by, an actor like Katie or Michelle. And so it was really important to us to humanize those characters and understand, why are they villains? Why are they making decisions that we might not agree with? And Katie and Michelle bring such humanity and vulnerability to those roles. So while you might not agree with all of their choices, I think you will certainly understand them as people, we hope.
And Yerin, what's the dynamic of Sophie living in a household like that?
I kind of compare it to like getting an MRI scan.
I can't wait.
That's not on my bingo card.
Let's take about 20 minutes to explain. The floor is yours, yeah.
It's like suffocating and claustrophobic.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yes.
But you like have to do it
Yes.
to know what's wrong with you, so you can fix the thing.
Ah, great.
And you want to just press that emergency button. Get me out. No, it's really complex dynamics. Araminta kind of really misuses her power as well. But for Sophie, the stakes are really high. Living under that Penwood house is a mode of survival for her, because if she doesn't, then she has nowhere else to go. And I think it also highlights just how hard it was being a maid in that era. You mess up and, your life can turn upside down in a second. And I think we're trying really hard to portray those dynamics.
And succeeding. So we also have new this season, we're seeing more of the kind of understairs of the ton, aren't we? Can you speak a bit about the upstairs, downstairs kind of dynamic?
Sure. I think it's the most exciting part of this is what Luke said, which is that we have these fantastic actors who have had smaller roles over the years. You mentioned Mrs. Wilson, Footman John, also Sophie Lamont, who plays Celia, and Lorraine Ashburn, who plays Mrs. Varley in Featherington House. And so we're getting a chance to go downstairs, meet new characters, see new sets, and you really, I think, learn a lot about the upstairs characters from their downstairs characters. So this is in Bridgerton House and is one of our fantastic sets. And, Bridgerton House, even the downstairs, is beautiful and kind of like a dream. Like, I would 100% live in the Bridgerton downstairs. Whereas, I don't know, when you go over to, Penwood House, to the kitchen, you might not want to. Nice. So that's saying something. It was a good storytelling. Oh, Varley, I love Lorraine. It's a good storytelling device for us, for sure.
How do we hope fans at home will feel watching this season?
I had a moment when we were doing the read-through. I think there's something about the fairy tale element of it that makes us all sort of kids again. I remember when we were reading, and there's a mention, I don't think this is a spoiler, there's a mention of midnight, right? And I just remember Adjua, who sat next, I think it was Adjua and you, actually. I don't know if it was you as well. But suddenly someone went, midnight. Just that thing of, there's so many, it's such a sort of seminal story, that Cinderella thing, that I think I'd love people to just be swept away like that. I think that'd be really...
Yerin, what about you?
I think they just feel a sense of hope.
Yeah.
Especially now, I think there is a lot of division, and I just hope that this story just proves that, no matter what race or class or religion or whatever it is, you see the person for who they are, and that, love can combine us together and, unify us.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Okay, so next up, we can't avoid mentioning what I'm sure all fans of the book are anticipating, Lady Bridgerton's Masquerade Ball. So, Jess, when does the Masquerade Ball take place?
Well,
Precise
Golda,
date.
I can exclusively reveal here today for the first time
Come on.
that the Masquerade Ball will be a very large chunk of the very first episode.
Can you tell us what went into creating that?
My
Ball, and I know
A
it's
lot.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about Alison Gartshore, our production designer.
Yeah.
Let's talk about John Glazer, our costume head, and let's talk about Nick Collins, who
Yes.
has fabulously stepped into hair and makeup this season. The three of them just worked their tushes off.
Yeah.
We had a real vision for the Masquerade Ball. If you guys aren't familiar, this is something that occurred in the Regency period, and the goal was to wear either by costume or concealment to try to hide your identity. So some people would go in proper costumes. Some people would just try to alter their appearance or wear a mask enough that they could hide their identity. And because of that, people usually would get up to things that they might not normally get up to. The rules were a little bit looser. It was a little bit more frisky. So I think taking that inspiration into the visuals, we wanted the ball to feel a little more dark and mysterious and fairy tale like. And we really honed in on the idea of it looking a bit like a Midsummer Night's Dream. And from that came a lot of the inspiration for all those different departments.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really amazing to see. I know that Hugh and I were sitting up and just going, what is that? What's that?
Yeah.
Look at that. It was like a real, wow moment.
The team making the masks,
Incredible.
they could have just put some little domino masks on people. There's masks with antlers, masks that are swans,
Clocks.
masks that is a chess piece.
Yeah, loads of stuff.
Unreal.
And what is Benedict dressed as at the Masquerade Ball?
I don't think he's tried very hard. I think it's sort of slightly...
there you are.
Yeah, slightly sort of Romeo vibes in the sense that he sort of doesn't really want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
I think he's sort of, slightly a reluctant masker. So,
beautiful, Yaron.
I know.
Look at that. Oh, gorgeous.
yeah, so it's probably whatever you think. Whatever you think he's dressed as.
Hello, yeah. That's a lovely photo there. That's very nice. What were the inspirations? Seen visibly in the ball. What have we got in the costumes and stuff that have been inspired?
So going back to the Midnight Summer's Dream theme, there's this cloud motif. Shakespeare. You got it. I got it. There's clouds painted on the floor. Someone reminded me today that there's a constellation on the floor. I don't quite remember what it is, but I think it's an Easter egg. So someone look out for that. And then, people's costumes are telling a story of where they're at emotionally or romantically in a few instances. Or we just did what Julia Quinn said in the book they were wearing. What Violet's wearing, I will say, really speaks to where she's at in her journey. So something to look out for.
And what about your dancing skills, Luke and Yaron? What was
Perfectly
rehearsal
adequate.
like? Perfectly what?
Perfectly adequate.
Oh, okay. Adequate. Did you enjoy them? What were they? Were they good? Were they?
Yeah, it's amazing because
You've danced before, right?
yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's always that thing of trying to tell a story. It's not actually about the dance. I think some of the most magical moments that have been on Bridgerton, if I think back, are sort of ones where it's just like a dance like that. So it's another way of speaking, I guess.
Jack's very good at that, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very good. The choreographer Jack Murphy is wonderful.
Yeah.
And
Telling
so
stories through the physical.
perfectly suited to this show as well.
Yeah.
I just think, it's easy. It's easy when with a lot with this show, the team is so incredible that I think it's
Have you
so
danced
wonderful to
before?
be able to
Yeah.
trust it.
I have.
Okay.
A little bit. I don't think I'm amazing, but I think they're okay.
Yeah.
And,
I'm being self-deprecating. That's
yeah, don't do that. No, but I think also with Benedict and Sophie, it was like a big dance number. I think it really was just like an expansion of our emotion that we felt. And Jack's great with kind of setting that intention and motivation for that.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, you all saw those gorgeous photos we revealed of the ball on screen, but now my glamorous assistant, Hugh Sachs, will also reveal some costumes here today, displayed.
And here they are.
Wow.
They're absolutely stunning. I'm not sure who wears them. I know Brimsley doesn't. It's something of a tragedy, but the detail is astonishing.
Do you know
It's
who wears
amazing.
those? Is it you who wears those?
I wear the one on the left.
Yeah,
You are the one on the left?
Yeah, I wear the
You
one
were
on
the one
the left.
on the right?
You don't wear the one on the right.
Okay.
Oh, so we
Great.
do know. It's Sophie and Benedict. Hello.
Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous.
Very tall.
Yeah, I'm not that tall.
So, moving on from this marvelous masquerade ball, can you tease what key scenes from the books fans can expect that you've already filmed, maybe?
It's so difficult, isn't it?
We're bad at spoilers.
The thing is because I always find like the good analogies. It's like I've got this camera. We've got this camera at the moment. You know those old cameras that if you opened it, you'll spoil the negative.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's so difficult because obviously there's amazing moments from the. I mean, it's pretty faithful to the book, and there are amazing moments of the book that make it.
Do you think this
But I don't want to talk
season
about them.
is the most faithful to the book?
I do. I also say I've been authorized to say a few things that we're pulling from the book.
Please, Jess.
Because because like Luke, I'm terrified of getting someone going, should have said that. But okay, masquerade ball. It's in there. We know this. Can I say my cottage? Do we know this? Not a cottage, spoiler alert, it's a mansion.
I think we've got a picture of the cottage.
We've got a picture of
There it is.
my cottage. I
not
just
the
say,
cottage.
I know.
No.
This was one of those
Full-blown.
locations that when our locations team showed us this, I was like, this is exactly how I pictured my
Yeah,
cottage.
right.
It was amazing. I mean,
Right.
the whole joke is that it's not at all a cottage. And, maybe within striking distance of that cottage, there's a lake. It's entirely possible that Benedict might want to go for a swim. I don't know. So those things will be in the season. And yeah, I do think that this season is the most faithful to the book.
Okay, great.
It really lends itself to adaptation, just plot-wise. It's very similar. I think that, of course, some smaller things have changed. Character motivations, I think especially Benedict, is quite different from the book, just in that Luke Thompson brings this wonderful sensitivity and self-awareness to the character. And so in Benedict's story of trying to woo Sophie, I think the character is a bit more delicate and thoughtful, perhaps, about the way he goes about it.
Lovely, lovely. And do you have favourite parts of the book series you've seen or we will see in the series?
Many.
Yeah. All of it.
I will move on. So, I will move on because I feel that that's a dangerous place to go. So, what other character storylines are you most interested in seeing in the season and why?
I love seeing a lot more of. I forgot their names again. Hyacinth and Gregory. I really know, but it's really nice to see them. It's like, just those little stories. I find it very moving actually seeing them now in the show, and getting them to sort of bring them into the fold. It's really, really exciting, and they're doing amazingly.
Yeah,
So yeah.
really. What about you, Yaren?
I'm going to say Francesca,
Ooh,
but I
good one.
don't think I can say what. Otherwise, I'll get in trouble.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you for entertaining my questions so far. Hugh? Hugh?
Yes, I'm here, dear.
Come and join us. We've got some other...
So now your questions were excellent,
Oh,
but
thank
I
you
have
very
some
much.
here from fans who have been watching, which are just as outstanding.
Ah.
So, from Julie in Brazil, which character from another period drama would you invite to spend a week in the Bridgerton world?
This is like
From another period drama.
another period drama. This feels
I'm
like
so
a pop
territorial.
quiz.
I'm like, get out of the way. Stay away. I don't know.
I would maybe like to see Mrs. Bennet from Pride and Prejudice and how she and Lady Featherington would get along. Or any of the Bennet sisters, really. I think like one of the Bennet sisters is probably a good friend for Eloise.
Yes.
Eloise keeps looking for a friend who just is like, I don't care about marriage, and there's one of them in there. Or in Little Women, there's one of them in there.
Yes.
You know, Joe.
Yeah.
Let's get Joe.
Yaren?
Does Sherlock Holmes count as a period?
Yeah.
It could be a
I
90s
think
period
Sherlock
drama.
Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
I feel like him
Amazing.
and Whistledown will
Yeah.
have a thing. Be like this.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
I think the Queen would like that.
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
actually. Sherlock.
It sounds right. Doesn't
Sounds right,
it?
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so from Canada, this one is. Favorite line another cast member has delivered that you wish you could have said?
Oh, easy for me.
That's from Natasha B. from Canada.
Varley the Bugs.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, sorry, Varley the Bugs. But Harriet.
Varley the Bug.
Yeah,
Yes.
she'd do it. She did it great. I wouldn't touch it, but that's just a good line. Just makes it up. Yeah.
Anybody else? No? You wrote it, Jess?
Daphne.
Oh,
Yes,
I love that one.
That's good.
Classic.
Classic.
Yeah, that's really good.
Who's next?
Me.
Oh.
So, from Sharon from New York, if your character could pen a column for Lady Whistledown Society papers, what secret or piece of advice would they share with the Ton and why? What do you think your character would think about modern dating culture?
I think they find it very abstract. I think what's wonderful about the shows, it reminds people of a time when, like in fact, we were talking earlier about dancing, like the whole idea of social dancing, of meeting people in a room, and that all happening in person. I think it's something that a lot of people yearn for. And actually, I think they'd probably find the, dating apps and all of that quite abstract and strange to sort of feel like you'd have to find out about someone through a screen before you actually met them, I think.
That's interesting. Although I do think they'd appreciate how quickly they respond. Rather than like
Waiting for weeks.
Great. Okay, so from Karina A. from New Jersey, what is your favorite location to film at?
I have to say, without going into much detail, my cottage was pretty. Because there's a whole. I guess we spend a lot of time there.
You were there a long time.
And it was also the first time that we got to act together. So that was really special. I'm looking forward to people seeing that.
Yeah, great.
It's a beautiful location.
Mine is Wilton. House was always my favourite.
Mm-hmm. Which was the
presentation.
Yes.
So
the presentation.
The presentation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful place. That was my favourite.
I love how you say that as if we let you film in many places. The Queen is always stuck in the same location.
My many locations. My many locations.
From Lee in Connecticut, which Regency traditions or foods would you like to see become mainstream in the present day?
Foods, none. They're kippers and putting things in gelatin.
So much gelatin.
Stew. Yeah.
So much gelatin.
So much gelatin.
Yeah, with all sorts of things in it.
Traditions. I agree about balls, though. I think, especially after COVID, I was like, get me in a ball.
Yeah.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
Little dance card, and you kind of like know what the rules are. Shake some booty.
So we have one here from Mexico. How would you describe the relationship between Sophie and her stepsisters? Ruby R. from Mexico.
like an MRI scan.
Like I said.
That's such a great analogy. I like that a lot.
From Jenna D in Pennsylvania, in honor of the upcoming fourth season of Bridgerton, use 4 emojis to describe this upcoming season.
I actually want to hear you answer this question, Hugh.
He doesn't know what emojis are.
Okay.
I do now. You did explain what a GIF was.
I did, yes.
Season 1.
Season 1,
And then Florence explained what a TikTok was.
Right, yes.
And so I'm learning all the time, basically.
So what would your emojis be?
Cake.
Good one.
Yeah.
Well, I can
4 cakes.
Anything you could put cake.
Yeah.
Not 4 cakes, but 1 cake.
1 cake.
Love hearts?
Yeah, I've got a really good one for Benedict. Do you know the emoji with the heart-shaped eyes?
Yeah.
You know when someone's sort of slightly blinded by the feeling? I think that's very Benedict.
Oh, lovely.
That's nice.
Anybody else before I move
I
on?
would do like a kite, a lake,
yes, good.
Water generally.
a staircase, water generally.
Yeah, water generally.
A staircase.
Is there a staircase emoji?
And, is this a spoiler? Ooh, don't say it. And then some hearts.
Okay.
Lots of hearts.
Moving on.
Some hearts.
Laura from New York. How many biscuits do you all eat on set?
Take it away.
Are they any good?
Yeah, I mean, it's dangerous sets because you spend so much time sort of
We
waiting.
have a snack box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to get people to take them away.
I know, me too. I'm partial to a Kit Kat.
Yeah.
I feel like that question was written for Luke Newton. Who, like his character, is always chomping on something.
Yeah.
Oh, so I've got one. What will Queen Charlotte be up to this season since Whistledown has been revealed? Eva L. from Arizona.
What will Queen Charlotte be up to? I think discovering new avenues, new hallways to walk down, new dogs to hold, new friendships maybe, and yeah, there's a vulnerability to her this season that I think will be really interesting to see.
Yeah, and she's amazing. Those scenes were breathtaking. It's
Gosh.
just like
Very good, right?
no,
Thank you very much.
It was just
My job is done.
no, it's a side we've not seen of Charlotte.
Yeah.
And it's really, and it sends Brimsley into a complete tizzy. And it's been really beautiful to film.
And we did give you guys some new sets this year. We let you guys out of your same set boxes.
Yes, you did. Marvelous. We have a whole home now in one place.
Queen's World.
All Queen's World, that's it. So, we are here today celebrating a season of love. It is, of course, for those that celebrate Valentine's Day. What do you love most about Bridgerton?
I think what I love about Bridgerton is that it is entirely on its own terms, as in it is just this thing that everyone sort of can get into, but it's on its own terms. It is it's just flawless. It's perfect. It's just absolutely that. It sort of can't really be compared to anything else. I think that's really it makes it very unique. I think. Yeah.
And your short time with us, Yaren?
Yeah.
What do you love about Bridgerton?
Just how much joy it gives people. You know, I think when you see stories about people getting together through all the obstacles and challenges, you just root for them. And I just love how much people love the show. And also the people on the show, you know. I love, Bridgerton.
And what do you love about the fans? The fans are great. I mean, they're
great.
Intense.
Photo of me.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago.
Have that right.
It's amazing to have the breadth of fans as well. Like I think, before I was mostly in theatre, and you'd get quite used to performing to 0.0001% of the population, and so suddenly to be in something that with the breadth of people that see themselves reflected in it is really, really special. I think.
It's amazing. And fans, there are so many ways to express your love of Bridgerton. We've seen how you have shown up at experiences around the globe.
And dressed up.
Oh, very much so. And speaking of Bridgerton experiences, the musicians you heard this evening are from London's Candlelight, the best of Bridgerton on strings. This captivating musical experience is open in over 220 cities around the world, and you can find a city near you .com.
A wonderful experience, I'm sure.
Well, thank you, Hugh. Yes, I know. We're going to be winding up now, but it looks as though our fun is coming to an end.
The fun isn't over just yet. While we do have to say adieu, before we go, we want to thank everyone for joining us here and to fans all over the world watching live.
It was a pleasure sharing more about the work we do on Bridgerton and getting a chance to bring everyone together near and far.
However, we do have one more treat for our audience tonight.
Jesus.
Please find
I didn't know we were doing
the first sneak peek of Bridgerton Season 4. Well, we begin another season.